Okay, here we go. So, objective equations of circles. Okay, 5, 29, 19. Okay, so if I tried to graph a circle on my calculator, problem with calculators and circles is this. A circle's not a function. Okay, so here's how I do one. I'll just show you an example. Square root, and if I go 9 minus x squared, okay, and check my window, let's go negative 5 to 5. Just watch. I want you to just watch. Graph, okay? Okay, now what do you see?
That's an oval.
It's a half circle.
It's a half circle, right?
Well, you can do two different ones.
That's the only way we can do it, because a circle, it's not a function, right? Remember what a function is? It's got to pass the vertical.
There's only one line.
Exactly. So if I do the other half, I totally agree with you. I would go, believe it or not, negative square root of 9 minus x squared, and I can graph this one, and then I get the bottom half of the circle, right?
It still looks like an oval.
Well, it is only because I can go zoom, check this button out, square. So what happens to my calculator? You guys ever remember the old movies that were like you get them on TV? Sometimes you had to format it to fit your screen. Because
Yeah.
on the TV, you go to movies and like a big wide screen, and then on your TV they format them, right? So these are the same way. You got a rectangular screen. So you go to z square, and it'll make it look more like a circle. Okay. There's a circle. Now what's really weird is what's going on right here.
Yeah,
It's flooding.
Yeah, what's going on right here?
Flooding.
Nothing. Just stop.
So it really does exist here, except for the calculator thinks it's not a function there, so it won't graph it. It really does. It really does connect. It's a circle, but the calculator won't graph it there because it thinks, uh-oh, remember that thing with the vertical line test? It thinks it's totally not a function there. It thinks it's not a function there, so it won't graph it. But it really does touch, okay? It really does. So the calculators, they're stupid, they're dumb. We're smarter. We're smarter, okay?
Make better calculator.
So the circle I just graphed was x squared plus y squared equals 9. That's the circle I just graphed. And that's going to be a circle with center at 0, 0. And the radius of the circle I graphed was the square root of 9, which is 3. So the circle I graphed was x squared plus y squared equals 9. And the center's at 0, 0, and the radius is 3. So here's the circle I graphed. Okay, there it is. That's exactly the circle I just graphed. Center at 0, 0, you can see that. And then the radius of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the radius is just the square root of that number, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the standard form, okay? So the standard form of a circle is this. Parentheses. Please write this down. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now what does that mean? H, k, r? What the heck, Mr. Davies? What are you talking about, okay? This is the standard equation of a circle. Okay. In math, we have learned that the negative means opposite. That the negative means opposite. We've learned that. Remember my silly little dumb dance? Remember the dumb dance? It's on the inside. It's on the inside of the parentheses. I'm going the opposite direction, right? So if it says plus 3, it's going to be back 3. If it says minus 3, it's going to be to the right 3. Okay? Remember when we did that stupid little dance? So you'll never forget. It's always the opposite. So my center of this circle, so the center is at the point H, K, whatever it is. And in this case, I'm going to write that down. In this example, my center is at opposite. It's at negative 2, positive 1. So in this equation, my circle has got a center at negative 2, opposite, and positive 1. Thumbs up? Just the opposite. Good. And the radius of the circle, the radius is the square root of r squared. Okay, so in this case, our radius is going to be the square root of 25, which is 5. You guys agree with that? Now, there are some people that are super perfectionists. I'm not. And if you guys want to borrow, the compass to make really nice circles, you can. Mine are sometimes look like potatoes, sometimes like eggs. But I'm going to try my best to make a circle, okay? And I don't mind if you're a perfectionist. I love perfectionists. I'll do my best, okay? So this circle, let's graph this circle, okay? So the center's at -2, 1. There's my center. So I'm just going to graph that point. And then, since the radius is 5, right? Since the radius is 5, from the center, I'm going to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from the center, let's go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the center, let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from the center, let's go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I'm going to try and freehand a circle. And I know some of you are super good, and I appreciate kids like you. I really do. My perfectionists will draw really nice circles, and I love it. Me, I'm going to do my best. So if you're a egg or a potato drawer, let's give it a try. So
Draw some potatoes.
mine circle is going to look something like, how's that for a circle?
That's not a circle.
See, all right, so mine's kind of a beat up egg or a dropped potato or whatever it may be,
That
right?
looks good to me.
Cameron and I, it's good enough, right? Yeah, and I really do like kids that try and make it look perfect. And thank you for you kids, because we need kids to do things in perfection. Now, example 2. Am I going too fast? Or okay. Okay, example 2. Example 2 doesn't have, it doesn't have any numbers on the inside, does it? So what are the numbers on the inside?
0.
0, 0. You guys agree with that? So my center
So it's
is at 0, 0, right? Because there's no numbers inside, so it's got to be 0. And my radius
3.
has got to be the square root of 9, which is 3. Absolutely. Perfect. Okay, and if you guys want to make beautiful circles, go ahead. I'm going to try and do my best. So then I will take center at 0, 0. I'll go out 1, 2, 3. I'll go back 1, 2, 3, and I'll go up 1, 2, 3. Down 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to try and draw the best circle I can. Is this pretty easy? You guys agree? Remember
like
I-
this.
Yeah. Remember I told you it's a pretty easy lesson. All you got to do is just pay attention and take notes, right?
Yeah, it's a circle. If I've ever seen it.
Wow, that is beautiful. There you go, right?
There's my circle.
Okay. Okay. Turn the page. Am I doing okay? Turn the page. Am I going too fast?
No, going just fine.
Okay, turn the page. Okay, now, example 3. Find the equation of a circle with center at 1, 2 and a point of 4, 2. So what I'm going to do is graph it, because I think graphing would probably make it easy. Okay. So I'm going to graph this. All right. So let's see. I've got center at 1, 2 and a point of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 on it. So there's my center. Okay, now. So now I need the equation. So I know this much of it. I'm going to go to the equation. So I flip this. Here's my equation, right? I want to use this. So I'm going to write that down. I want the equation, so I'm going to write my x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, because that's my equation, right?
You just can draw.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me. Okay, so I know the center. So the center's at 1, 2, so I put that into my equation. Let's just put the 1, h is 1, k is 2, because that's my center. H is 1 and k is 2. Right, so I can do that. I can go x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals r squared. Okay, so I've got half of my equation done. I do the centers at 1, 2, so I put the 1 in for h, and I put the 2 in for k. That's not bad. Now the r squared. Now hopefully you can see the radius. You can just count it, can't you?
1, 2, 3.
Is it 3? You guys don't see the radius is... Radius is 3, right? So the radius is 3, so I'm going to go, okay, x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 3 squared, but I'm going to make that a 9, right? I'll make that a 9, right? So how about we go, okay, x minus 1 squared plus a y minus 2 squared equals 9. And that's my equation of that circle. I didn't even draw in the circle because the question just said, find the equation. I got it. 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up, thumb sideways. Where you at? Okay, good. We good? It's actually pretty easy, isn't it? If you pay attention, it's like, hey, this is pretty easy, Mr. Davies. Right?
Wait, hold on.
I will. Yes, R2.
So, where did you get 3 squared again?
Okay, so the radius has to be 3. If that's the center, and that's a point on the circle, and I didn't draw the circle, the circle's something like this, right? Then the radius has to be 3. And the formula says, whatever the radius is, 3. 3 squared is 9. Okay, let's do the last one. Well, no, I got 2 more after that. So let me go ahead and at least graph it. All right, here we go. And there we go. How's Jacob doing?
He said -3 plus 4 equals 5.
Okay, so center at -1, 3. Okay, and it's got a point at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's my centers. My circle is going to look something like this. Oh, that's really bad. But anyway, there it is. So my circle looks something like this. Okay, but what we need is we got to need the equation. All right, need the equation. All right. So I'm going to write down my equation. My x minus h squared plus my y minus k squared equals r squared. That's my equation, right? Okay, now, so here's my equation. So let's find the equation. So I wrote down that equation from the front page, right? My equation, so wrote that down. I know what h is going to be a -1 and k is going to be a 3. So I'm going to put those two numbers in, okay? So I'm going to put it, ready? I'm going to go x minus -1 squared. Oh, my pen's going to die on me. Plus a y minus 3 squared equals r squared, okay? You got it? Double negative, let's make that a plus. You okay with that? Double negative, let's make that a plus. Okay. Just rewrite x plus 1 squared plus a y minus 3 squared equals r squared. Now, how are we going to find the radius?
5.
How'd you get 5?
Because I drew a circle.
Keep going. How'd you get 5? 5 is correct.
Well, I just drew a circle, and then I found out where it was vertically down from it.
Okay.
The radius.
Okay.
And then it said it was 5, so I just squared it. I didn't do any math.
Did you... Okay, he's right. How'd you get 5?
So what I did is I put the point down, and then I went down 3, and then from that point, and then went over. And I just did it on the same side, and I put my compass down on that point and made it connect to that point.
Ah, so you used your compass and measured your compass. Okay, cool. That's not a bad technique.
That's what I did.
Jacob, what'd you do?
You can do it.
For question forward,
Yeah, what's the radius?
I
The
don't
radius is 5.
yeah.
How'd you get 5?
You can plug it in and see if it works.
I like that idea. How about we do
It's
this?
way harder. You can just draw the circle.
Or, okay, now, Derek, I was waiting for somebody to say, hey, Mr. Davies, Isaac, you were basically saying this.
Well, that's what I did on the first one.
You were basically saying if you drew it, you said, didn't you say 3 down?
Well, 3, 4, 5 triangles.
And then you could do Pythagoras theorem and get the 5. Now,
You don't have to do the theorem, but like, you know, 3, 4, 5.
right, so, or plug it in, watch, plug it in. So every point, let's plug in the point x, y. Now listen, here's how it works. Every point's got an x and y value, right? Watch. Every point has an x and a y value, right? Put my negative 5 in for x, right there. Plug my 6 in for y, right there. And then I can find r squared. Check it out, and I'll put my negative 5. So I'm going to go, okay, negative 5 plus 1 squared plus 6 minus 3 squared equals r squared, okay? Let's do the math. Negative 4 squared plus 3 squared equals r squared, okay?
Wait, oh, okay.
Negative times a negative is a positive. How about 16 plus 9 equals r squared?
Plug it in.
What's r squared? R squared is what?
25.
There it is. All right, cool. So then I know the radius is 5, so I'll put here as my answer, I'll just put a 5 squared. Or you could use Pythagoras theorem, right? Okay, now last but not least, is negative 3, 4 on the circle?
Yes.
How do you know?
You can just plug it in.
Plug it in. And if it works, yes. And if it doesn't equal 25, boys, girls, stop. Let me finish up. So,
Plug it.
almost done. X, Y. Negative 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 25. Okay, does that equal 25?
Yes.
9 plus 16, does that equal 25?
Yes.
If it did not equal 25, what would you say?
No.
You'd say, no, it's not on the circle. It'd be either outside of it or inside of it, right? If it's less than 25, be inside. If it's more than 25, be outside. Kind of makes sense. doesn't it?
Inside and more though.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Doesn't that make sense? Point would be inside if it's less than 25. The point, if it's more than 25, the point would be on the outside.